Hello.
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 Hello everyone.
Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna read Oliver Twist Part 4. The topic is Oliver Find a Friend. Oliver find a friend. Oliver was in a quiet room, clean room. He was laying on a big soft bed with clean sheet and pillow. He looked around the room in surprise. Where am I? Oliver whispered. A kind-looking woman was standing by the bed. This is my Barlow house, and I am his housekeeper. The woman said, You have been very ill, but you are getting better now. A little later, the old gentleman, what goes specular, came into the room. He looked down at Oliver. How do you feel, my boy? My Barlow asked. Very happy, sir. Oliver replied, Thank you for bringing me here.
As the child spoke, his eyes closed again. Soon he was fast asleep. Mr. Barlow went to sit in his library. There was a painting of a beautiful young girl hanging on one of the walls. Mr. Barlow sat and stared at the face of the girl in of portrait. That thing, Mr. Barlow said to himself. The boy looks very like her. A few days passed. Oliver was well enough to get up, and Mr. Barlow bought him some new clothes. The house in Pentonville was quiet and comfortable. Mr. Barlow and his housekeeper were very kind to Oliver. Mr. Barlow did not ask Oliver many questions. He liked the young boy and told he was honest. Oliver was happy for the first time in his life. You are very kind, Oliver said one afternoon. Can I do something for you? That's thing, Mr. Barlow said. The boy looks very like her.
Perhaps you can, Mr. Brownlow answered with a smile. I have some books to return to the bookstore and some money for the owner too. I will take them for you, Sir Oliver cried. Please let me. I am stronger now. Tell me the way. I will run straight there and back. So Mr. Brownlow gave Oliver the books and a £5 banknote. The old gentleman and his housekeeper stood at the door and watched the boy run down the street. At the corner, Oliver turned and waved to them. Mr. Brownlow waved back. Then he looked at his watch. The boy will be back in 20 minutes, he said. Oliver was pleased that he was helping Mr. Brownlow. The boy hurried along the street with the books under his arm. Suddenly, a young woman stepped out in front of him. She grabbed him by the arm. Oh, it's Oliver, my brother, Oliver, the girl cried. Come back to your sister and your parents. Oh, it's Nancy, Oliver cried in fear. That's right, your dear sister Nancy, the girl said, holding Oliver tightly. No, and often, Oliver cried. I live with Mr. Brownlow. Several people stopped to listen. They watched Nancy pull Oliver along the street. Bill sighed. Now wake. Eh, Bill sighed. Now walk up with his dog. Oliver, you young villain, come back to your mother, Bill said. No, no, help me, someone, Oliver screamed. Help you, I will help you, Syke shouted. What are these? He grabbed the books from Oliver. Books stolen them. Have you here my help for you? He shouted, hitting Oliver on the head.
Here, come bullseye. Bill called to his dog. Stand next to him. Don't let him go. It was getting dark now, Syke drank. Oliver rushed along the narrow streets. The dog followed, growling loudly. In a short time, Oliver was back with Fagins. Fagins was delighted. I am pleased to see you again, he said with a weak smile. You are looking very well, Oliver, my dear. And look at its clothes. All new, Charlie cried. We'll look after them for you, Oliver, Fagin said. They're too good to wear here. The doctor was quietly taking things out of Oliver's pocket. He whistled in surprise and held up the £5 banknote. What's that? Money? That's mine, Syke cried, grabbing the banknote. No, Bill, my dear, you have the books, Fagin said quietly. If I don't get the money, I'll take the boy back, Syke shouted. Don't forget Nancy and me found a boy. Oliver began to cry. The money belonged to Mr. Brownlow and the books too. Please, send them back. He'll think I stole them. Oh, yes, he will, won't he? Fagin said with a laugh. It couldn't he be better, could it, Bill? And he's a thief now. He's one of us. We've got the boy for life. When he heard this, Oliver gave a great shout. He ran wildly to the door, but the boys pulled him back. You want to call for help, do you? Fagin said quietly. He picked up a stick. We'll stop that, my dear. And the old man hit Oliver hard. He raised his arm to hit him again, but Nancy ran forward and grabbed the stick. She broke it and threw it on the floor. Leave the body alone, Fagin, the girl cried. I got him back for you. Isn't that enough? Yes.
Music laughed. You are strange fan for the boys, Nancy, he said. You crushed him and brought him back. Now you want to help him. Be quiet, or I will set the dog on you. And on the boy too. Do what you like with me, Bill, but don't hurt Oliver, Nancy replied. She turned to Fagin. You made me a thief, now you will make the boy a thief too, she screamed, and then she began to cry. Fagin did not listen to her. Charlie, he said, take off Oliver's nice new clothes. Then put him to bed. He must be tired. Oliver, alone and terrified, was locked in another room. He could not escape. The poor unhappy boy cried himself to sleep. Mr. Brownlow looked at his watch. 1 hour past And then, too, darkness fell, but Oliver did not return. Thank you.